Um, Lovely, thank you. So you're welcome to have your camera on or turn it off for this, whatever feels best for you today. Basically, we are going to spend the next hour just going through some nice sort of awareness practices and turning our attention inside and noticing how what we practice affects us, but also conversely, what we practice affects other people. So, just looking for another wee live mic there. Is that me making that noise? No. Okay. Cool. So first of all, I just wanted to say that you can use the chat to ask questions, and if you want, you can private message me in the chat if there's anything you're not sure of or you're particularly struggling with. But I actually thought we'd have a few minutes beforehand to find out where you're all from or what sessions you've already done in the festival. So, like, if you have done sessions in the festival and you want to put in the chat what you've enjoyed, what you find interesting, or even why you're here for this session. Is there something in particular that grabbed your attention? And I'll go ahead and introduce myself. Okay, no problem, Rosemary. No worries. People were asking me earlier, is it okay to come in and leave my camera off for this session? And it absolutely is, because I'll run through the session regardless of the feedback I'm getting from you. And that's one of the beautiful things about doing these practices, is that you start to have an embodied sense of confidence around what it is that you create. Because you felt it yourself, so you know that it's undeniably the experience for other people as well. So that's why practices like this are so nourishing and so enriching. For anybody who doesn't know, then I'll go ahead and introduce myself. So my name is Roisin Erskine. Oh, I'm a sound and yoga therapist. I'm also a mother, a musician, a wife, and most recently I'm training to become a martial arts instructor. Now that might sound like a bit of a mixed bag, but these three healing modalities are hugely complementary and have many overlapping concepts. So in this workshop, we're going to explore how to slow things down, to connect with the breath, and we'll use that connection to the breath to access subtle sensations in the body. By linking these to colours, imagery, and sounds, we'll explore how life moves us and how we move others with our art, with our personalities, and with our just simply being. So just a side note to say that for some people, breathwork can be triggering experience. And in this instance, if that happens to you in this session, then I would encourage you to prioritize getting your own breath under control by lengthening your exhales. So if you find that you're getting uncomfortable, maybe even starting to slightly hyperventilate, I want you to focus on exhaling through the mouth. So inhale for 2, exhale for 4 seconds, inhale for 3, exhale for 6, something like that, where you're lengthening the exhale, relaxing the tongue and jaw to really release that tension. Turn the volume down on this session if that's the case, and don't come back into the group until you feel relaxed and comfortable. So please let me know if you require any assistance in any of this. We're going to start off with we're going to start off with a guided nature meditation. So this will be tapping into colours, imagery, visualizations. Then we're going to look quickly at the yogic 3-part breaths. And then we'll finish with a piece where we practice moving sounds and vibrations around the body. So any questions before we start? I like the relaxing aspect of this and looking into creativity. Yeah. Just completed The Artist's Way, and this sounded right up my street. Absolutely fabulous. Everybody talks about The Artist's Way. It's something that I know only through vicariously through other people. So lots of people have told me different bits and pieces about it, and it sounds like a great book, especially the morning pages. Yeah. Hi all, Juanita here. Joined a number of sessions, all brilliant. Also a yoga and mindfulness facilitator, children and adults, and integrating these into creative arts programs, here to be guided and held. Beautiful. So thank you so much for joining us and for saying so. And Juanita, yes, I've noticed you in the other sessions, so I hope you're really enjoying the festival as much as the rest of us are. Annie, have you got a question before we start? You look like your mic isn't live.
Sorry. Hi.
Hi. Is that my connection or yours? How long is the session? It's an hour. Now, if people are comfortable enough to run over the hour, then we'll do that. But if you have to be somewhere else, like it's 12:15 now, we can finish at 1:15. If you have to be somewhere else, I don't know that there's another session on after this. Maybe Kiva could let me know in the
I
chat.
was just in the middle of typing a message to you to say that the Zoom account isn't being used, and the next session is actually a YouTube live performance.
Oh, is that ours? The Mothers in Music?
No, it's I think it's I'm not oh god, you've just challenged my schedule off the top of my head.
Okay.
I think it's needed, but look, we're fine
No
to
bother.
record by a wee while, so
Perfect.
take the full time.
Okay, thank you. So listen, if you do need to run on before the end of this session, that's no problem. From what I'm told, it's been recorded and it'll be uploaded to the Women's Work website anyway, so you can catch up again afterwards. And thank you, Sinead, for putting in the chat. Mothers in Music is releasing a collaboration video at 6 o'clock this evening, so keep an eye out for that as well. Kiva, can you make me co-host just so I can keep an eye on the live mics, because I can't do anything about it unless I'm co-host. Thank you. Okay. So before we get started, I'm going to invite you to make yourself comfortable. And as you're doing so, I would like you to think about the intention that you're going to set for this session. So you don't need to set your intention yet, but take some time to choose what your intention might be. If you haven't done Sankalpa or intention setting before, it should be something positive and in the present tense. Okay. So one that I like to use is, I am happy, I am healthy, I am well, I am enough. Now, most people struggle with the last one of those 4 statements. You could also use something like, I let go of that which no longer serves me, or I am excited to try new things, or I am open to opportunities. Whatever it is for you, choose your intention for today and then keep it in your back pocket and we'll use it shortly. So for now, what I want you to do is go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And this can be lying down or seated, whatever is comfortable in your body today. If it's accessible for you, I would encourage you to go ahead and close your eyes or softly gaze at the floor or wall in front of you. Turn your awareness within. Let your attention settle on the breath. Notice how the abdomen rises and falls as the breath comes and goes. Don't try to influence the breath or change it in any way. Simply observe how it feels. Each time your mind wanders, and it will, gently and patiently guide your awareness back to the breath. So each time your mind wanders, notice it, and without judgment, gently return your attention to the breath. Now bring your intention or sankalpa to mind. We're going to repeat them quietly to ourselves 3 times before letting go. So in your own time, repeat your intention, feel the words, and believe what they mean. So now I want you to picture yourself somewhere out in nature. You might feel a warm summer breeze on your skin, and notice that the birds are singing overhead. Take in the sights, sounds, and smells all around you. Perhaps you notice the colour of the sky, the smell of the flowers, how the light dances on the grass as the trees sway gently overhead. Notice what it is in nature that you connect most easiest to. You begin to notice the sound of water, and as you look round, you see a wall with a little stile over it. You follow the sound of the water over the stile, down some steps, and with each step you become more relaxed. 1, 2, exhaling long, slow exhales through the mouth. 3, 4, until you reach the bottom, completely relaxed. 5. You make your way through some trees to a clearing with a small waterfall and a plunge pool. The sound of the water gently breaking and the way the light is bouncing off it is totally enchanting. Sit down on a grassy spot by the water's edge and feel the warmth of the sun dancing across your face. You paddle your feet as you lay back. Thank you for the notes. Is that better? That is better, isn't it? Okay. Sometimes Zoom does that when you play real instruments. Okay. So find your comfortable spot on the grass by the water's edge and feel the warmth of the sun dancing on your skin. You paddle your feet as you lay back and watch the clouds sail by. So, really feel into the sounds and sensations of this place. As you lay here, absorbing all the beautiful colours and rich sensations, take some time now to note the things you feel most grateful for. Really feel into what you love right now and embrace the sensations of connection and stimulation. Perhaps it's a practice, a person, an instrument. What makes you feel love? Visualize the things you feel grateful for and imagine they get brighter with each exhale. With each exhale, relax the tongue and the jaw, letting go of tension and stress. When you're finished your gratitude practice, come back to the feeling of lying on a grassy bank in the sun with your feet paddling in the water. Give thanks for this place too, and know that you can come back here at any time. You carry this peace and tranquility with you. But for now, it's time to make your way back through the trees towards the steps. As you make your way back up the steps, you become more alert. 5, 4, 3. You start to feel more awake. 2 and 1. As you reach the top, climbing over the stile, take a couple more long, slow, deep breaths. In a moment, I'll invite you to open your eyes. But for now, take a few breaths to observe how do you feel. What do you feel and where? So when you're ready, go ahead and gently blink the eyes open. Wriggle the fingers, wriggle the toes. And before you move or do anything particularly strenuous, just allow the eyes to wander around the room. Orientate yourself in the now experience with your eyes open. Notice where the eyes land naturally, where they feel safe and comfortable to do so. Also notice where tension comes into the eyes. What are you looking at when tension occurs? What thoughts have come to mind? Okay, so Very often, when we do these kind of experiences, people have sensations that they're not necessarily able to commit to words instantly. Sometimes it takes a while to sort of come back into the room and to unpack what we've just done. But if anybody has any comments or questions on any of that so far, then go ahead and unmute your mic or stick them in the chat, and I'll
Lovely
just get us.
emotion. That was
Yes,
beautiful.
Abigail.
Thanks. That was
Uh,
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I'm very aware of that issue with Zoom. I knew it was coming nearly. So thank you for pointing it out, that it is quite frustrating when you're doing a guided meditation and the volume drifts down, which happens anyway when people are doing meditations, because when you guide it, you do go inwards and your volume naturally drops. And so sometimes it can be a bit of a false comfort for the facilitator to have a microphone, because then you just assume that you're audible. And so the feedback was really useful, and I'm sorry that you had to come out of that to let me
Very
know.
interrupted. It was lovely. Thanks a
I
lot.
actually
Beautiful.
thought that it was part of it. Like I thought that you were turning your microphone down, and I could feel myself drifting in deeper and deeper as your voice got fainter. Then when I couldn't
Mm,
hear you at all, I went, no, no, I don't think this is part of
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
the first couple of seconds I found quite enjoyable actually.
Yeah, yeah, because that's it. You do push yourself then to reach out after that voice, and that's when you kind of um lose the connection to everything else you're holding on to in the real world as such. Kate loved her nature walk. Katie, so good to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Lovely to see your face.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah, Katie is one of the most talented songwriters that I've ever had the pleasure to listen to, and she just writes the most hilarious songs. She writes comedy music, and I really enjoy her company as a
Thank you
songwriter
so much.
and as a musician. Absolutely class. Thank you. Okay, so look, we don't need to dwell on that for very long, but basically that was to show you that, I mean, this is a four-string ukulele. There's not an awful lot to this instrument. Most people think it's a children's instrument, but with very, very little, all I was doing was like four major chords there and looping them. And with very, very little, you can really start to set the scene musically, to bring people into that space of relaxation and connection. And if you see me fumbling about trying to put stuff places, it's because I've broken my leg, and I've already dropped my crutch and took a big chip out of one of my quartz crystal singing bowls. So, yeah. So I'm surrounded by stuff here and trying not to break anything else. So next we're going to move on. We're going to fly through the yogic three-part breath. This is really for you to just start to access that. And then what we're going to do is another guided practice. So you can sit up for this, or you can lie down, whatever is most comfortable for you. And this will change day to day, hour to hour, even depending on the tension that's in your body. So don't worry. I've had a hectic week. Looking forward to your thank you so much, Rosemary. Well, you're going to love the next bit because it really is a deep dive. So without any further ado, what we're going to do now is look at the yogic three-part breath. And this is something that I have found is recurrent in a lot of healing modalities. So there's a very similar practice in the martial arts. There's a very similar practice that I've found in sort of Kundalini yoga and different things as well. So yeah, it's something I think everybody should be taught. So the premise of this is most people breathe into only the top 30% of their lungs. So for a lot of us, we're carrying 70% of a lungful of steel air. So that actually has a detrimental effect on our health. But moreover, it has a detrimental impact on our nervous system. So it keeps us tense and closed and rigid and small. Okay. So what we're going to do with the breath is open out first of all. We're going to flush the body with fresh oxygen, which will impact the nervous system, make us feel more relaxed and optimistic and outlooking. And we're going to activate the other two, sort of two-thirds of the respiratory system. And then we're going to use that to move sound around the body. Okay. So first of all, I want you to have your eyes open for this as we go through it, and then we're going to add sound to it, and then we're going to progress it from there. So first thing I want you to do is either press your fingertips together, or you can interlace them slightly, but you don't want to like hold it there, okay? It doesn't want you want to be able to feel movement in this, so it's really just the contact you're looking for. And then I want you to rest them on your abdomen, so in and around your belly button. And I want you to focus on just breathing into the abdomen. So you're inhaling through the nose, and you should feel the abdomen lifting and rising. Then exhale through an open mouth, relaxing the tongue and jaw, and you should feel the abdomen fall. So just practice that. 5 breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, let the abdomen rise. Exhale through the mouth, let it fall. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And you should be starting to notice already how that calms the mind. So I want you to do a couple more of those, paying particular attention to see if you can get your fingertips to separate, or at least feel that movement of the rise and fall. So really tuning in to the abdomen and the experience of the breath in the abdomen, or sometimes we call it the quality of the breath. So noticing over the next 10 breaths, if you can make that breath nice and smooth and relaxed, and you can automate that rise and fall without having to think about it. So go ahead at your own time. Don't try to keep in time with my cues for breathing. Remembering each time to inhale through the nose, exhale through an open mouth, relaxing the tongue and the jaw. And as you start to come to the end of that 10 breath cycle, you can even start to let sound out as you exhale through an open mouth. So, ha, really stick the tongue out, relax the tongue and the jaw. Ha, really letting go of all of that tension that you build up around the sort of the throat. Just sigh and let it out. So just when you've finished your 10 breaths, just pay particular attention to the effect that had on you. Maybe you can feel some energy fizzing up. Maybe it's the opposite and you feel your energy dissipating and slowing down. Notice what that experience was for you in this moment. And when we use the words notice and observe, it's always without judgment. So just notice. Gorgeous. So next what we're going to do is take the hands, and we're going to have Lego hands this time. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can look at the screen. Lego hands is this little cup shape, and we're going to put those around the rib cage. So this is the next third that we're going to focus on, and this is a really, really good practice for anybody that has respiratory complaints or conditions, okay? But also this is a very energizing breath, okay? So don't be surprised if you feel like a fizzing up after. And this is the one particularly that people can be quite sensitive to. So if they've had a traumatic experience with breath work before, so please do let me know, and don't go anywhere that doesn't feel safe. But for most people, this should be pretty accessible. So putting your Lego hands right around your rib cage, just under your bra strap where that would be. I say bra strap, I'll not even go there. I was going to crack a joke. I'll not bother. So this breath is going to be completely different. So it's not going to be that slow, relaxed breath. It's going to be a short, sharp, quick breath. Still in through the nose.